This is Ned's NRL Unpopular Opinions with Jharal Yow-Yeh, Oscar Pannifex, Liam Fogarty, and Ryan Cook.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Ned's NRL Unpopular Opinions. I'm your host Ryan Cook. Joining me like he does each and every week, he's living proof that people can change. It's Liam Fogarty.
Yeah, I used to be a piece of shit, but people can change.
That's a lie. He still is.
Yeah.
That's not slicked back.
No, it's pushback.
Next, it's the man with the know-how and the best man bun in the podcast game. It's Oscar Pannifex.
Oh, look, big fish in a small pond there, isn't it? Yeah. Game in here. Yeah, thank you, boys. Good to be back. I just got off the phone to Cam Murray and Ryan Pappenhausen. Obviously, both devastated
Friends of the
personally for their injuries, but they're also very thankful that at least we'll have a fair and more contested Origin series in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
And still undefeated coach of the Westerana Panthers. The first place Westerana Panthers, might I add, Jharal Yow-Yeh.
Yeah, look, far out. Can win footy games. Can't fucking tip multi. Well, I've got to have one of them.
What's more important to you?
Footy. Sorry, punters.
Good hit out for the boys on the weekend.
Oh, mate, another great one. Put away a long travel for the guys from Redland, unfortunately.
And what's their team name again?
Is it the Lorikeets?
Parakeets?
Parakeets? I don't know.
Oscar, you were in attendance. How was the coaching performance there?
Yeah, he's a nervous man before the
I
game,
always
wasn't he?
am, man. I'm a wreck.
We got you just literally,
Just the worst
literally
time.
as it was about to kick off.
You couldn't have said. I couldn't have said hello.
Does he
to,
blow
to
up
you
on the
and your-
sideline or?
No, it was, I mean,
pretty
calm.
Yeah.
he scored early, so the pressure probably
Oh, he scored
come off
44
pretty-
points, 44-10, so look, it's pretty hard for me.
Helps.
I was blowing, I don't know if you were there right at the end, but I was blowing up. We let in 2 tries because, they didn't deserve it. We just sort of put our foot off the brake
They
a
got
little
to drive
bit.
back to Redlands. You got to give them something.
Yeah, got to give them something to go back to Redlands with. No, it's been good. We've got it to a great start. We got a big game this weekend, though.
Burpengary?
Yeah, top of the table. So we got to go out there. So we'll make sure we put our bulletproof vests on before we get out there. Be good.
Dangerous areas. Look, let's get into a team that's not going as well as your Panthers, Jharal, the Warriors.
Yeah.
The name of our show is Unpopular Opinions, but it's fair to say it was a very popular opinion at the start of the year that the Warriors would finish top 4 or at very least play finals again.
Yep.
3 consecutive losses now, and suddenly that feels less and less likely that they're going to finish top 8. They've lost 3 in a row now to the Dragons, Titans and Knights. Not a good list to be losing to.
Yep.
And last week against Newcastle, it was pretty grim from start to finish. Just didn't look interested in the game, struggled in the conditions. Lots of question marks about the team list.
Yeah. Ryan, you weren't here last year, but we also tipped all the Roosters to win the comp.
Yeah, that was unanimous.
So, I mean, look, if anyone wants to jump on something that we're not good at, it's probably running teams down to the lowest, and we've done that to the Warriors again.
We do put the mocker on teams.
Jesus, man.
We have to go back and listen because I'm pretty sure I said that their Linsanity run was going to be over
No, you
pretty.
didn't.
I
You definitely didn't.
100%
Check the
did.
tapes.
We need to go back. I said that they were going
Yeah.
to be a one year deal, and I think we're seeing
And
it.
we also said the Raiders. No one spoke about them. We started to talk about them, and now they've gone to shit. What is wrong with our podcast? Can't tip a multi. We're burying people by talking.
Dump
about
it, Rich.
But keep
Pull the pin.
listening, punters. It's great.
It's great stuff. If you want to,
We want to keep going.
crash and burn.
No, look, back to the Wars, though. A lot of talk around Andrew Webster and whether or not this is second year kind of syndrome for him. I have a lot of questions about what needs to happen there. First of all, Chance Nickel-Klokstad didn't look great last week. Couple of errors very early on. Been a bit of talk about RTS moving back to fullback. Are we for that at this point in the season, or is it still a little bit too early?
I think if you're losing 3 games to bottom 8 sides, you probably need to start making changes. And 3 weeks is a long time in rugby league. If they give him another 2 and he still plays the same way, we know that he's got potential, Chance, but he's obviously not playing his best footy at the moment. So for whatever's best for the side, and I think the coach is smart enough to know what is best for the side. It might have to be done. What do you think?
I'm not ready to pull the trigger on that just yet. I think we know what Chance's qualities are as a footballer, and he might have had a couple of quiet games by his standards over the last few weeks, but he's not the problem for the Wars right now, I don't think. They're dominating in field position. The Rugby League Eye Test is a really good page on Twitter. He did a great read this week about the Warriors. earning some of the most field position, most attacking field position of any team in the competition. They're just not cashing in when they get into good ball. It seems all very formulaic. They're just setting up on around the posts and then coming right through SJ, trying to get it out to Dallin, and like we can see it coming on the couch at home, and defenses can see it coming on the field. I mean, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we talked about that AFB shape on their right edge and how defenders couldn't defend it, even though they could see it unfolding in front of them. I just think they're lacking a bit of punch in the middle right now. I think teams have figured out how to crowd Wade Egan and slow down his influence. I think I'm not ready to pull the trigger on RTS just yet. I think what he's doing out in the centres is probably the best fit for this squad at the moment. But yeah, it is surprising. I was on them big for top 4 finish, and that's not looking good right now.
It does feel very predictable when you watch them, and it's worrying that they can't put away a team like Newcastle, who play a pretty simple game themselves. Look, fans might argue that the Waz went through a pretty similar stretch last year. This exact time last year. They lost to the Storm, Roosters and Panthers though, so that's a completely different kettle of fish, plenty of players crying out now from the New South Wales Cup team to maybe make the side. And from a betting perspective, Fogg spoke about this last week. The Waz were $26 to win the premiership, now out to $34, and that road ahead for them features a few of the teams I just mentioned, the Roosters, Panthers, and then back home for the Dolphins. So are we all off them to finish top 8 now? Are we still?
No, I don't think we're off them. He's great. I think he's a good coach. And the players that he's got, they know what they need to do. They've also had 3 or 4 weeks where they didn't have all their middles.
Metcalf being out's hurt them too.
I was going to say they've been missing middles. Metcalf's missing middles. Sean Johnson apparently hasn't been training a lot because of that Achilles.
Yeah.
So there's excuses there.
And I think we're going to see in the next 3 or 4 weeks where the Warriors lie. You can't leave your run too late in this competition. We've seen it before. So they need to start stringing together some wins, and what a way to do it this weekend against the Roosters. RTS going back to where it started for him as well, and it's going to be an enjoyable watch. Would he be up against Manu?
Yes, he will.
Yeah, that's juicy to watch as well. So everyone's gonna know that it's gonna be a big game for them, and they're outsiders to win this. So maybe this is something to kick their season back into gear.
375.
I was about to
the
say,
Warriors are this weekend against the Roosters.
Good price. We'll get into some injury chat shortly when we discuss your article, Oscar. But just quickly, look, we got to talk about the bunker. Been a very big topic on the talk shows over the last few days. I'm always reluctant to talk about these kinds of things on this show because it's done to death everywhere else. But what happened last week needs to be discussed. The Fafita decision in the Storm Titans game, Philip Sami's try, all glaring errors on the bunker's behalf. James Graham's been very vocal about what he thinks needs to happen with the bunker moving forward. I'm in favour of his idea of bringing ex-players to sit in every single week. Just want to get a bit of discussion going here about where you guys think the bunker needs to go. How do we make this better?
Yeah, I'm with the players, ex-players being there, because unfortunately for refs who probably haven't played the game at this level, they don't see it like players do, and they don't understand the game like that. They understand the rules, but there's circumstances where decisions can be made in different ways. And even the punter who has watched a lot of footy in their time could see some of those decisions go the other way. So, yeah, I would like to see some ex-players in there. I'm not saying I'm putting my hand up, but I would like, because it's a lot of pressure, right? But there's players who would love to do that. I've got no doubt that there'd be ex-players who'd be like, I'll do it. Because one, I think they've got, if you played rugby league, you've got thick skin, so you can cop all the criticism that comes with it. And two, they make the right decisions at the day if they're ex-players.
Would you want the players to be named, or would you want it just to be completely?
Oh, they're going to get found out. Yeah, I don't think it matters. You can't just go into a bunker and there's going to be people secretly taking pictures here and there, and they're always going to get found out. So I think you have to be named if you're going to go in those positions like the refs. Yeah, you've got to. If you're putting your hand up, you've got to be named.
It does seem that I guess a lot of the decisions over the weekend. There's been chat about officials getting tired of doing the bunker. Like on-field officials going into the bunker, they don't really want to be there. It takes them away from the field and blowing the whistle. So it sounds like we're all in agreement that ex-players is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, like they
Or at least be in there.
Yeah, 100%.
They used to be in there. And my understanding is there used to be an ex-player up in the bunker, and only in the last 12 or 18 months they've been removed. I can confirm.
I think the other thing that we've got to watch out is having alliances. People who are interested in those certain teams. If you're ex-players, there could be mates that have played for that side. You could have some type of.
They could have shafted you on a contract.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
you've just got to be careful with that.
Yep.
The referees purely are there to ref the game, so they don't really have any interest in that sense. So yeah, you have to do your background checks. You got to be able to be in there and doing the right thing.
Non-bias.
Non-bias would be the best way to go. And then let the refs be refs. Because I do not. I don't pity their job. Like they do a great job for us. And I think at the end of the day, we as people who watch the game, we do hold them accountable most of the time. But they're in those positions. They put it. It's a hard place to be. So if you I think Billy Slater said it best on an interview 2 days ago. He said, if you're not willing to go put your hand up and be a ref, I think you just need to shut up. Yes, they're human beings. They're going to make errors. And that's unfortunate, but that's why we have the thing called the bunker, and if ex-players want to get in there and make their decision as well, let's do it.
Well, speaking of errors, we need to start talking about some betting because none of us can bet very well. Let's get into the offload with Fogs and Oscar.
All the betting trends from around the comp. This is the offload.
It's time to get some insight into this week's betting strategy ahead of round 10 from two blokes that can't pick their nose so far. First of all, though, Oscar.
Yeah, very well.
First of all, Oscar has written 2,000 words or so over on the Neds blog.
Is that all?
That's just a cheeky read. Just discussing some of the recent injuries and the opportunities that have popped up.
Yep.
I think Jharal, you were at Suncorp when Renault did his bicep last Friday night. Not a good scene.
Were literally right in front of me, and you could just tell immediately that it was not right. Trying to hold my son who was snoring, 2 rows back from the field, trying to hold in my, my sadness of seeing that happen. Not only that, Jesse Arthur's right in front of us as well.
Oh, that was
I'm never
bad.
going to. I've been to 3 games over the last 2 years. Right, lost them all. I'm not going to Suncorp anymore. I'm not going to any more games anymore. I'm just not doing
Starting
it.
to think you're
Except for next Friday when we go there.
Oh, yeah. No, I might stand outside.
Yeah,
and you can
could
FaceTime
you
from
please
inside.
do that? I can't handle Timsy if the Seagulls beat us.
Yeah, we don't need that, actually.
Who's Timsy? Oscar, the first cab off the rank here is Brad Schneider.
Yeah, well, I mean, not every club's got the injury toll that the Rabbitohs have got right now, but the better clubs are those that have brought a deep top 30 squad into this season, and I think we're starting to see some of those guys pay dividends for their clubs at the moment. So Brad Schneider, I think, is an obvious one at the Panthers. What he's been doing, he's not lighting up the stats sheets or the highlight reels, but he's doing all the little things and putting guys like Dylan Edwards and Jerome Luai into positive positions on the field.
It's a Queenslander too.
He is a Queenslander.
Beautiful. It's lovely.
I'm a big Schneider guy, and just the luxury of leaving a big Schneider guy. I think just the luxury of leaving a guy like
Rob
Nathan,
Schneider.
Thank you, Chad Townsend.
rattled. Yeah, shout out Chad. The luxury of leaving a guy like Nathan Cleary off for 4 weeks to start the year and to still bank wins during that period. It's going to be even more valuable for the Panthers in the Origin period approaching.
Jock Madden.
Yeah, same story. Unfortunately, he's injured at the moment, so we're going to see another genuine halfback in Josh Rogers.
Do you know much about him?
Oh, I've seen him play over the last few years in the Queensland Cup. He's solid. He'll do a job. I think Madden's definitely the future there, or at least the short-term future for you guys at the moment. I think I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but there's chat about bringing Tristan Saylor into the halves just because of how exciting he is. But when you've got guys like Reese and Ezra in your team and Cobbo, you don't need another creative attacking 7. You just need someone who gets you to good
Too many
points on the
mouths to
field.
feed.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, I think as long as Madden can get back from his own pectoral injury, I think it was, I think he's going to give the Bronx some really good stability. While
We've got
Reynolds
another
is
kid coming
sidelined.
through as well.
Who dat?
Moser?
Broncos, Cody Black.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, he's a...
Might still be another.
No, he's a while away. He's a while away, but seen a little bit of him. And if you're a Broncos fan, we're in for a treat. Yeah, it's nice.
I'm going to jump ahead a bit here because it is quite a lengthy list, but there probably hasn't been a team in the comp hampered by injuries more than the Finns.
Yes.
Trey Fuller.
Oh, he's exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. I think he's a really good example of the benefit of debuting some older guys from the Queensland Cup. So instead of going, okay, we need a fullback, let's get this young, exciting 18-year-old kind of rookie prospect, you can pick a guy like Trey who's 27 years old. He's played against men for 10 years. He knows his own qualities as a footballer as well. I think Wayne Bennett's someone who's done a really good job throughout his career of he understands you can get a young player to rise to the occasion for a week or two, but maintaining that form against men week to week over an extended period can be challenging for those young guys. You know what you're going to get with Trey. He's going to make an error or two. His ball playing's not as good as the Hammer, but the guy's averaging 40 receipts a game. Like he just continues to put himself in the frame. So yeah, a really good backup for the Hammer.
I feel like in this competition, in this day and age, having a smaller, nippy little fullback, it's harder to handle because he's still getting through. He's getting a lot of penalties for head highs as well. Like I've noticed. Like honestly, they're getting out of yardage. They're getting a lot of penalties from that. I know we're laughing about it, but it's
unsustainable.
You're either trying to tackle him, when he's trying to get through you, and you're getting a penalty for it. So. Yeah, it's working really well for them at the moment.
And the last name on your list, Oscar, is Connor Watson.
Yeah, I don't know if we forgot how good he was after
he hasn't been put in this position, though,
He
I don't
was
think.
Man of the match for me in that game last week.
I think he's between 5'8", hooker and lock this year. He's probably been one of the Chook's best players in each one of those positions, which is what makes it all the more interesting with Victor Radley and Brandon Smith, who need to share minutes in those positions as well. But yeah, I've been really impressed with Connor. I think he's always been very dynamic, maybe a little bit raw in terms of what he does with the ball, a couple of errors and playing off the cuff or that kind of thing. But he hasn't made an error across 7 or 8 games to start the year. He's tackling at around 95% efficiency. I won't be surprised if he gets a shock origin call up for the Blues in the next few weeks.
Condog.
Yeah. You put him at 14, he can cover 9, he can cover 6, he can cover 13.
You guys can
back
have
row,
anyone you
centre.
want.
Yeah,
Love it.
I'm not saying that he's a lock. I just think that
Well, you just said he's a lock.
Lock of the week.
I said shock.
That's a pretty big lock.
Let's get into some betting chat now.
Alrighty.
I'll throw it to you, Fogs. Finns Manly on at Thursday night.
Yeah, so I've been doing a little bit of research this week because obviously we haven't been going great.
First time for everything.
But did you see my Saturday in open groups just quietly?
Clean up.
Absolute clean up.
3 from 3, multi.
Finished up 16 units on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Silence.
Fuck, I'm good.
So
Just
proud of
ask
those
me.
units.
Dolphins have won. They're 3 from 3 and 2 this year when they've been the betting underdogs. They beat the Cows at $3 last week, and they're taking on Manly, who obviously shat the bed very hard against the Milk. Are you boys interested in the Dolphins at $2.10 this week at Suncorp?
No.
I know you're not, Jharal, for reasons we'll probably discuss a bit later. A couple other things that stood out to me on that sheet was Manly have lost their last 3 at Suncorp, and this is the first time the Finns and Dolphins have played in Brisbane. Is $2? Yeah, there's $2.10 for the Finns. Something you boys are considering?
I'd entertain it. I mean, Hamole Olakuadu's out for another week, which is a big loss for Manly, just with how they set up in good ball.
Yep.
If he's not taking 2 possessions in a good ball set, then he's dragging 2 defenders over to his side of the field and creating more space for Luke Brooks on the left edge. I don't know. I've been impressed with how the Dolphins are applying themselves, but it's high effort, week after week. And yeah, like you said, Manly shit the bed last week, so I'd probably be looking for a response.
There we go. All right, fair enough. Let's go to Friday night, Eels v Broncos. Obviously, Joshy Rogers is replacing Renault this week. Favourites won 11 of the last 12 between these two teams. And the Broncos are very short at $1.35. Yep. Are we even looking at power here? Pretty confident the Bronx can get it done without Renault?
Yeah, I think Clint Gutherson and Mitch Moses are 2 enormous outs for Parramatta. I don't know where they get their points without those 2.
I think that's the thing I've noticed with the Bronx this year. Like Renault's played 80 minutes maybe once this year, so they're pretty well adjusted to playing without him. And I think Ezra and Walsh should
Carrigan.
step up. Yeah, well, Carrigan. I think Carrigan leads the league in most run meters
Wow.
Like he's really put the team on his back this year. Looking forward to Origin. Storm v Sharks, which will probably be the game of the round, 1v2. Melbourne have won each of their last 14 games at Amy Park and are ever so slight favourites at $1.80. No Pappenhausen, and Jerome Hughes is not playing.
Correct.
Where are you boys looking for this one?
Yeah, I'm just going to stick with Melbourne with this one. I just feel like we spoke about it last week. We looked at the Sharks. They haven't really played anyone in that top tier calibre yet. Yes, they're playing some great footy, but Melbourne at Amy Park, over the years we've seen how good they are there, even without a full squad. So personally, I won't be looking at the Sharks at all. I think Melbourne, I'm going to stick with them.
Does the Titans coming close to the Storm last week stress you at all about this one, or?
Titans have been doing that for the last few weeks, though, against good sides. So.
No, I don't think so. No, and they're a different beast. Like we said, at Amy Park, I hate going against Melbourne down there because we're always like, maybe it's the time that they'll stuff up. So I'll keep my mouth shut and I'll stick with Melbourne.
Fair enough. All right, Oscar, you got any try scorers this week?
Yes, they'll be coming in open groups. I don't have them ready for me right now.
Got him rattled once again, boys.
Nah. All right, we're going to come back with story time with JYY. JJY.
Oh, shut us, man.
Back by popular demand.
Strap yourself in. It's story time with Jharal.
Well, if you ever thought your life was boring, Jharal Yow-Yeh is here to remind you that unless you were an ex-athlete, it probably is.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, no, my story this week is we were just talking about, off the mics about having footy at a local club, in the later part of the day. Called nighttime, not really.
Sometimes called nighttime.
Some called
Allegedly.
nighttime. Not really about it, but my story comes. This made the news actually 3-4 years ago. It might have been just before COVID, but out at Albany Creek, there was a game. My little brother was in it. This is how I know. I don't know if you watched my little brother on the. He's a bit of an angry man. He's a bit of a psycho. This didn't start just because of him, but when we were out at Albany Creek. It was like a 7:00 game, so it wasn't, people are pretty full. The reason why I'm telling the story, because I was deep in this whole situation, not on purpose, by accident, but this story comes when Josh Maguire and me were sitting in the I'm going to bring Moose in this. He didn't do anything, but I just name him because he was there. A fight broke out on the field. It sort of overflowed onto the sideline, and my little brother was sort of in, and I was like, oh God, I'm going to have to grab him and we're going to have to leave really fast. Before I know it, I'm getting jammed by people left, right. I don't know if you guys seen this, but it was all in the news out at Albany Creek, and the best thing that they thought to do would turn off all the lights. Yeah, man. Oh. So I'm out in the middle of this paddock. If you've ever been at Albany Creek before, there is literally cows and horses out there. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm just getting pizzled. There's police turning up everywhere. Like I'm talking, I've had to get locked into the chain. Wouldn't be the first time. I've been locked in the change rooms, but this got that bad. Like it made the news. It was all in the paper. And the reason why I tell this story is because don't play community football at night time, people, all right? If anyone's out there, if you're a GM of a club, please don't do it. And the reason why I say that, we've got to go to Burpengary this weekend, 5:30 start, so I'm just a bit nervous. I've got PTSD from it, so if there's any chance you could change the time, that'd be great.
Just keep the lights on at least.
Yeah, don't turn the lights off on me, please. But
no witnesses.
Have you guys ever been to a big all and brawl like that before?
No, I can't say I've been in an all in brawl.
You guys don't look like all in brawlers.
We're lovers.
Liam's over there thinking about it.
A couple mosh bits, but not park footy brawls.
You're wearing the right hoodie for that today.
Yeah, let's go.
It's probably one of the most scared. I've still got PTSD from it. It's one of the most scared I've ever been in my life. Yeah, so.
Vietnam flashbacks for Jharal. There you go.
Let's turn the lights off.
We'll just turn the light. Everyone will disperse.
Kill the lights, Rich.
Dead.
All right, we come back. We're getting into Fogg's Fast Five.
Who decided to give him his own segments? It's time for Fogg's Fast Five.
For the past few weeks, we've been inundated with letters, messages, snail mail, you name it, all from Liam's mum asking where is Fogs' Fast Five? Where has it gone?
She doesn't like the gambling
snail
stuff.
trail.
She does tune in for the Fast Five, and so she's been disappointed the last few weeks.
You've come prepared though. You put some effort into it this week. You're ready to go.
Liam's mum and Fast Five. This doesn't sound nice.
Or snail trail.
Well, look, if you put your name to a segment, you've probably got to put some effort behind it. So that's what I've done this week. I don't know about you boys, but I've been pretty engrossed in the Kendrick Lamar-Drake beef.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
This last week, I think it's the sort of the Park v Biggie of my generation. That's fallen on deaf ears again. I'm killing it this week.
Educate me.
Yeah.
I've seen this nonsense. I haven't clicked a single
I
article.
sort of clicked
Teach
off
me.
because it feels like it's not stopping.
massive,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it just keeps going.
Look, I think your mate J. Cole was wise to pull out of the race because it's just getting nasty.
Yeah.
I think there was a shooting this morning. Like it's just it's getting rough. But
Drake's security, it was.
It was, yeah.
yeah.
And Kendrick's gone in. I'm very much on the team Kendrick side. I could talk about this for hours.
Is this the real deal though? It's not fabricated to sell records.
I don't know. This is what I think. This is where I wanted to come to
See.
bring it to light. I actually think it is all a joke to bring rap back because country music is so here right now, and rap's sort of not there. I think they needed something to bring him back.
I don't think Kendrick cares about any of that.
Because Kendrick's been off the scene for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he just puts music out and lives his life, and I don't think he cares about all of that
Well,
stuff.
I know J. Cole's number one anyway. It doesn't matter. Move on.
We can have we've had this argument.
we
a
have,
lot. The podcast listeners don't need that. But inspired by the rap beef, I thought I'd go through and rank my favorite NRL beefs over the years.
Good
this
from you.
team or is this players?
Players.
Oh, yes.
Players. And you'll probably be able to chime in and give us a bit more. And there might be some that I've missed that you have seen that maybe us punters don't know about. So I'm going to start number 5, Will Chambers, Latrell Mitchell. I think started in Origin and spilled over to Clubland. It felt like those two genuinely hated each other and would just belt the piss out of each other every time they played.
And I'll tell you, there's two Indigenous boys, one trying to get it over the other. It's never going to happen. No one's going to step down.
Incredible theatre. Loved it so much. Another one that started in Origin, spilled over to Clubland, Payne Haas, Tino Fasua Malawi.
Oh, yeah. They were mates as well.
Yeah, well, what? Haas is Keebra, Tino's up in Gympie. They probably played a fair bit of schoolboy footy against each other.
Yep.
Spilled over in Origin. There's that shot of Haas with his jersey ripped open and they started belting each other. In the Queensland derbies, great one for me. Number 3, Paul Gallen v Nate Miles. The feud that ruined rugby league, I reckon.
Yeah, well, the punch did. It's now you can't punch anyone.
Yeah, it's because of those two, these young fellas can't throw a punch anymore, and I think that's pretty big in NRL history.
Damn it.
Number 2, speaking of punches, we've got Glenn Stewart and Adam Blair.
I was going to say, if you missed this one.
Battle of Brookvale. I go back and watch that at least a couple times a year.
For all the all-in brawls that you're involved in.
Yeah, well, before I go into a pit, I watch a couple of rugby league fights just to pump myself up. And look, I think the number one that kind of was the closest to a rap feud we'll ever get was Cam Smith and Cooper Cronk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of he said, she said.
That was weird.
And then there's that shot of Cronky choking Smith out on the field at the grand final.
Yep.
I think that's the best beef that I remember seeing. Are there any that I've missed, you reckon?
Last week. Paul Kent and the Trade.
You're spitting facts. I forgot about
Oh, my
that.
gosh. That is good getting. Yeah, there's probably plenty more, but I think you've done a great job, Fogs.
Thanks, man.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
It's your best one yet.
Get around me.
Pat on the back. Yay! When we come back, we've got to get into the dreaded multi.
Surely they get one up this week. It's the NRL Podcast Multi.
It's that time of the week again. It comes around so fast, doesn't it? Not a single leg right last week, boys. I think this might be the first time in this show's history.
We need to gather. We need to gather. We need to get together, touch each other, feel each other.
taps.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. 100%.
Trip to Bali.
Yep.
Ooh, where did that come from?
On the company card?
Yeah, I'm totally in.
Last week, Fogs, you had Dean Mariner anytime versus Chooks. I don't even want to read all these out.
Nah, let's not do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we just move on. We just move on from last week.
Do we want to know the record for everyone?
No.
No.
Not this one. Do you want us to be depressed or do you want us to be happy?
we're
Let's
trying
just
to-
move on
yeah,
and
we're
let's just
trying
go
to
forward.
hype the punters
Yeah,
up,
let's
not
go.
bring 'em
Let's
down.
go.
Good energies. This week, we have first leg is Dolphins Manly. Who's got this one, Jharal?
I did.
Jharal,
I
yeah.
took this one and I went Manly head to head. If you want to know if there's any thought process, there's none. Because I have done thought process for 9 weeks in a row. And now I'm just going to say, fuck myself. And I'm just going to go with Manly.
Nothing wrong with a vibe bet.
Yep.
Oscar, you're next.
Yeah, similar vibe bet here for me, which is liberating, not doing too many X's and O's.
Yep.
I'm informing a bet.
Who are you?
I've just taken Penrith 13 plus against the Bulldogs. Not convinced on the Bulldogs' form this year, and Penrith have Cleary back. Let's go.
Fogs.
I've taken the Storm to beat the Sharks. $1.80. Melbourne, won their last 14 at Amy Park. We just talked about how that's a very hard place to go and pinch points off Melbourne. The less I say, the better. I reckon.
No, I don't mind that. Yeah, it's brought the value up on this multi too. I've gone the over between the Titans and the Cowboys. 35-22 final when they met last month. The over is bang on 50 points. And the Cows' last 6 games have all gone over the total.
Allergic to playing defense, both of those
Yes,
teams.
exactly. So to recap, we've got Manly head-to-head versus the Finns Thursday night. Oscar's gone the Panthers 13 plus against the Doggies. Fogs has the Storm head-to-head versus the Sharks. And I have the over in the Titans-Cows game. $10.05 for that one.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
we'll
like
take
it.
that.
Yep.
We'll take it.
You can find that multi in the special section on the Neds app. Just about to wrap up here, boys. We do have to name in the episode. I know I put you on the spot here, but what are we thinking?
I don't know.
Silence.
Yeah, we do
Radio
this
silence.
every single time we come to the end of this podcast. We always think, what are we going to name it this time?
Mosh pit.
Mosh pit.
Jharal's
Oh.
mosh pit.
Oh, everyone get in my mosh pit. That sounds so sexual. I'm all about it.
Well,
I'm gonna go home and
three
tell my
votes for
wife.
that one.
We'll have to drag you into a pit, I reckon. I think
Yeah.
you clean up.
Do you actually fight people in a mosh pit?
He
does.
You don't go out looking for a fight, but if you get hit, like
It's on.
It's no, it's not on,
no, it's
but
part of it.
yeah, it's part of it.
That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to go inside a mosh pit.
There's no pit that scares me, but like running the ball,
Oh, there's no pit.
running, like taking a hit up, like shit my pants. Like, I can't do it.
All right, well, is it called Jharal's mosh pit?
Yeah. On that note, boys, what are we looking forward to this weekend?
To winning a multi. No, I don't really. Look, I'm playing footy against Burpengate this weekend. I need to win this game. A couple of ex-NRL players in their side, a couple of ex-NRL players in our side. So Luke Capewell and I can't remember the other person who's in their side. But yeah, that's all I'm looking forward to. Getting another win, going 4-0.
Anything else, lads?
Quiet weekend at home before the havoc that is Magic Round next weekend.
And it is Mother's Day on
Yeah, I was
Sunday,
about
so
to say,
happy
shit.
Mother's Day to all the mums.
Shout out, mums.
Damn, you
Thanks, Helen.
They got us off Father's Day.
Thank you for listening, guys. Thank you, crew. Oscar's lost it over here. Be sure to subscribe to us wherever you get a podcast. We'll be back next week.
See you.
Thanks for listening to Ned's NRL Unpopular Opinions. Enjoyed the podcast? Remember to like, subscribe, and rate the show wherever you get your podcasts.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.